All right, hello everyone, and thank you for joining today's podcast. Very special podcast, आज आप सबके लिए because I have a special guest on the show, someone whose work I've been following for a while, and I'm glad that we were able to connect today and are able to do this podcast to discuss, some election results that happened recently. But before we get into all the elections and all the results that happened and get into the breakdown of everything, please help me welcome to the show for the very first time, Pradeep Bhandari. Pradeep, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, and I'm extremely excited and delighted to be on the show. As they say that every Bollywood celebrity has to be on Coffee with Karan, they say that every newsmaker has to be on the Sham Sharma show
Is that what they
to be
say?
recognized.
I'm happy to hear that because nobody has ever said that to me. So if people are saying that to you, I'm happy about that. But
No, I've
it's
been
great to
following
have
your
you.
show for quite some time. Let me tell you that you are more relevant and impacting more number of audience than many of the journalists who think themselves to be very, very important. So yeah, I've been following your show for quite some time, and the way you present it is very innovative and very unique. So yeah, I'm extremely delighted to be here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Those are very kind words, and I do really appreciate that. But some very interesting results have happened in these elections, and depending on what side of the political aisle you're on, Pradeep, आप कोई कुछ टेक अवे ले सकते हो गुजरात से, कुछ टेक अवे ले सकते हो हिमाचल से, कुछ टेक अवे ले सकते हो दिल्ली से. नाउ अगर आप देखें तो जो कुछ मीडिया सर्कल्स में बात हो रही है, तो जो दिल्ली और हिमाचल के रिजल्ट्स आ रहे हैं उस पर काफी ओवर इंडेक्सिंग हो रही है कि भाई that is where the real news is. I remember watching NDTV. I think Kushal texted कि NDTV पे बात हो रही है कि कैसे Himachal results are the real results. Everything else is not the real results. Himachal is the real stuff. So I guess we'll talk about all three states. But let me start with Gujarat, because I was reading this article you wrote, and I'd recommend people check it out. So this is on the Sunday Guardian Live, and it's called "The Result of Gujarat 2022" or a trailer for Lok Sabha 2024. Now, I want to come to the crux of this article maybe towards the end a little bit. Lekin, what I found really interesting was that you wrote, deep diving into the results further, data suggested that PM Narendra Modi received more votes across caste, demography, age group, and region. This is after being in power for 6 terms, facing, you would imagine that you would face after 6 straight terms massive amounts of anti-incumbency. But despite that, BJP bettered its vote in tribal areas, winning more than 80% of the total seats, won more than 90% of the urban seats, more than 70% seats belonging to rural-dominated demographics. So this is, quite unprecedented, because जो हमारे पास पुराना एग्जाम्पल हुआ करता था प्रदीप कि भाई कैसे सीपीएम इतने समय तक पावर में रही है बंगाल में, तो उसका मॉडल था कि भाई कीप द स्टेट एज गरीब एज पॉसिबल एंड हैव एन आर्मी ऑफ गुंडाज एट हैंड कि कोई साला इधर उधर नौटंकी करने की कोशिश करे, कांग्रेस टीएमसी बीजेपी को वोट देने की कोशिश करे तो पीटो उसको. दैट वाज द मॉडल ऑफ कीपिंग पावर इन फॉर अ वेरी वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम. But that has not been the case with the BJP in Gujarat, especially. Gujarat it almost seems like there is a different viable model of hanging on to power for a very long time, which is development, law and order, and a level of cultural and civilizational pride. Like combining those three together seems to be a model that is built for political longevity in a state or even in the center.
Absolutely. And let me, I think in order to understand Narendra Modi's way of working and the development model to the late 1980s. Now, see, every model is an outcome of the vacuum which has been presented at that time. Now, in the late 1980s, when Congress used to rule Gujarat, it was a state of chaos. Congress was extremely powerful. In fact, Madhav Singh Solanki, with his theory of CAP, had got 149 seats. But it was the model of Congress was to keep communities divided, have caste fault lines prevail over the Hindu identity, And when there will be division, they would be getting a vote share of around 30, late 30s, early 40s. And during Madhav Singh Solanki's time, because the opposition vote was completely divided, they got a more than 50% vote share. So Narendra Modi entered the era, the politics of Gujarat in very late 1980s and early 1990s. Now, in the early 1990s, the trend in the Gujarat politics was where three parties had come together to form a government. And the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation was the first election where Narendra Modi started to speak about Vikas and started to speak against Congress's, I would say, Tushtikaran ki Rajniti is how he used
Yeah.
to call it at that time. And because the Ahmedabad and Gujarat had seen lot of riots at that place, in fact, it was considered to be a heaven for those who, for the goons and the drug lords in Gujarat. And Modi started to speak against them. Now, please understand that any political transformation starts to take place after social transformation happens or after there is a social acceptance. So people thought that Bharat, for example, in Bengal, the society is undergoing a social transformation. It has not completely undergone a social transformation. That's why
Mm.
you do not see a complete political change which is happening there. Similarly, was the situation in Gujarat. So the BJP Modi started to work in the late 1980s. In the mid 1990s, the BJP government had come into power. It was a government which was politically stable, but it was not able to deliver good governments. And that is where from Keshubhai Patel it went towards Narendra Modi.
Mm.
Now, what Modi brought to Gujarat was last mile social delivery. What Modi brought to Gujarat was
Can you
man to
explain
man
that
connect.
last line, social delivery? What does that mean?
So when I talk about last mile social delivery, Prime Minister Narendra Modi at that time he was the chief minister had the ability of ensuring least amount of leakages in any of the social scheme that he used to start. And for him, it has been that every crisis has been converted into an opportunity of governance. So whether it was the earthquake where people thought that it is near to impossible to completely transform it, he stood by himself. He micromanaged and he ensured that the complete transformation of Bhuj took place. Similar is the situation of Saurashtra, which was considered to be a barren land. He got water to that place. So
Mm.
so that was for the first time that people of Gujarat started to think beyond caste lines, and that was also state where people of Gujarat post 2002 there has not been a single riot in Gujarat. They started to live very peacefully. Along with that, the women, there was a sense of self-respect in women because Modi's schemes was centered around women and dignity of women, and that is not something which he started post 2014. Anybody who's been following him since the Gujarat days knew that he started to experiment those governance model since early 2000. And that's why you see repeated mandate for Narendra Modi in Gujarat year after year after year. Now,
Mm.
this time, Gujarat, please understand that Gujarat now for Modi is like what it is more of a family relationship. So, say a
Yeah.
father, when he sees the son doing very good, will never do an act which gets the son down if he sees that the son is making India proud. Now, Gujarat thinks the people of Gujarat think that they have made Narendra Modi as Narendra Modi, which is very true, and they have made him the prime minister. And it is an emotional connect that he has with people. So
Mm.
there are more than six. That's why he is able to get more than 60 percentage of vote in Lok Sabha. And in 59, he
Mm.
got 59 percentage in 2014, and he got more than 60 percentage in 2019, which means that's near to every out of 10, 6.5 to 7, people like his work and believe in his work, which is very, very big if you see considering Indian demographics. So in Gujarat, this election did not become about Bhupendra Patel, did not become about Gujarat government coming back or not. It eventually became about Narendra Modi testing brand Narendra Modi, which I have also written in the article. And they did not have any other, they did not have any other competing face on the opposition, which
Mm.
people of Gujarat believed would take the Gujarat model of development forward. And also the second perception was that if they could, if the brand Narendra Modi would get discredited or would get weakened, it would hurt his overall image, which was made by the people of Gujarat.
Yeah.
So the mindset in people of Gujarat was very clear that Modi ki hi sarkar banegi. The sentiment on the ground, if you travel, was that sarkar to Modi banayega. So in that scenario, what I have also observed from my past experiences in Lok Sabha elections is that
Mm.
when the mind of the voter is very certain, in that scenario, the quantum of verdict can be as big as possible, but the essence of the verdict is an absolute overwhelming verdict. So people
Hmm.
predicted a three-fourth mandate, but it went beyond a three-fourth majority.
Yeah.
The essence of Gujarat election was testing this new party, which was Aam Aadmi Party, which others judged as a 22 percentage party, which was disproportionate. It was only a 10 to 12 percentage party, which was working in bits and pockets, which I have been saying since long.
Hmm.
Now coming on to the tribal vote. Last time, please understand that the 2017 election took place on the pretext of three, four things. A, it took place in the pretext of a large amount of social agitation, which was there. It combined with certain amount of rural dissent at the in Saurashtra, and this
Hmm.
is where the election became interesting. And there also Narendra Modi was able to pull it off. Now,
तो
since
ये
then, the
कैसे हुआ?
BJP.
How did this happen? How did that flip happen? That in 2017, if you look at the electoral map, there's a big sea of blue there. You know, काफी अच्छी
Yes.
performance, strong performance दी थी कांग्रेस ने. Everybody was thinking कि यार अगला चलो 2017 में तो जान बच गई. 2022 में क्या होगा? If the Congress is able to even a little bit build on it, तो
See,
2022
you
में
need
क्या होगा
leaders
इनका?
to win elections.
Hmm.
Parties on themselves cannot win elections in India. It is parties provide a base vote. You need leaders to win election. Now, since 2017, all the weak areas of the BJP, particularly the Prime Minister, worked on them very personally. See, the Gujarat government runs is a Modi government, which runs in his runs on the principles of what Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said when he was the chief minister, and the
Hmm.
entire state machinery executes that. Now, the BJP worked very heavily on the tribal seats, and the BJP very heavily worked on the 27 tribal seats because that is where they had roughly got 10 to 13 of them, and they ended up getting 23 of them. So, the man-to-man connect of Narendra Modi's scheme. Number two, after the BJP, gave Draupadi Murmu a chance to be the president of India, it was very well received in the tribal community as a sense of representation because it gives a sense of social entitlement and a sense of social representation. That is point number two. Point number three, last time there was a partidar agitation which combined with the rural anger in Saurashtra where Congress gained a lot. This time,
Hmm.
Aam Aadmi Party and Congress was competing with the same votes. Apart from that, there was no rural anger in Saurashtra. It was largely caste-dominated factors which was working in few seats, and there was no partidar agitation. So, if you see, my whole large number of partidars voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party than compared to 2017.
Hmm.
That's why in 2019, all the seats of Surat were again swept by the BJP, 16 on
Hmm.
16. Last time they got 12. So these two, the factors which were there in
How were
2017, they
they
did
able
not.
to sway the patidars towards them?
See, it was very clear. Partidars have traditionally have been voting the BJP. What is partidar? Partidar means पट्टे का मालिक, मतलब जो
Hmm.
लैंड का चीज होता है. Now ये पाटीदारों भारतीय जनता पार्टी का जो इनिशियल बेस वो हुआ करता था, वो लियुआ पाटीदार and कड़वा पाटीदार हुआ करते थे. There
Hmm.
was this amount of social agitation which took place in 2017. Post that, the Bharatiya Janata Party started to, particularly the Prime Minister met individual partidar leaders on his own,
Hmm.
and he had met these influential partidar leaders on his own. In fact, before this election, when he went to Surat for this mega roadshow, he had held meeting with more than 70 to 80 partidar leaders in Surat who had influence in Saurashtra also. Now,
Hmm.
also please understand that the entire disengagement of the partidars was only to do with certain amount of youth in the age group of 18 to 22, 18 to 23. The partidars who had seen the Congress era will never go away towards the Congress or the Aam Aadmi Party because they knew what the BJP has done for them and has done for the state. So again, it was not largely a it was not that partidars were moving away from the BJP. Now coming to Surat, you can't win Surat just on the name of partidar votes. There is 30 percentage OBC population, 6 percentage Marathis, Marwadis also who live there, and Surat has prospered under Narendra Modi, which you ask even a person who's not voting for him will agree on it. So
Hmm.
the whatever parties who are contesting in Surat, whether it is AAP or Congress, they could only get certain proportion of the partidar vote, but large part of non-partidar vote was completely rallying with the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And even in partidar vote, leave the youth, the other part was completely with the BJP. So I had said that Katargram or Gopal Italia will lose convincingly, and even Baracha is what Aam Aadmi Party will find very difficult to win. So if you
Hmm.
see, Kejriwal's rallies were only in this constituency called Varacha. He
Hmm.
repeatedly went to Surat, but nobody deep dive. He was only going to Varacha. And again, you can't win by just getting 25-30 percentage of the partidar vote, which you are also not getting completely. So the
Yeah.
BJP was very confident there, and the ground sentiment also very confident there. So that is why the partidars had to rally with the BJP. And number two is that the entire non-partidars were completely rallying with the BJP in Surat. That's why they could sweep Surat. And in
Hmm.
Saurashtra, there were pockets where AAP and Congress was competing for the same vote, and the BJP in that scenario had a decisive edge. So last time, what was the issue was because of the Gujarat government at that time not delivering tap water to the last mile in 2017. That combined with the Patidar agitation. So these two happened together, and those are the seats where Congress gained. This time, those delivery had already been fixed by Narendra Modi, and number two,
Hmm.
there was no Patidar agitation because the faces of Patidar agitation had gone to the BJP. And number two is
Oh wow.
After Hardik Patel went towards Congress, his entire social capital went down. So he winning by Virangam seat was not because of Hardik Patel. He
Uh,
won the Virangam seat because of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Aam Aadmi Party getting 8% vote share. So you need to understand the whole context to it. So
hmm.
post Hardik entering Congress, his entire social capital completely demolished. And then after that, he had no choice but to go towards the BJP, and BJP did not mind that. And that's why the seat of Virangam was won by the BJP Hardik Patel
Hmm.
this time.
So, how successful, in your opinion, Pradeep, has the Aam Aadmi Party been in, Aam Aadmi Party ka goal, whether stated or unstated, has always been ki humko bhai Congress se take over karke, we need to become the main competitor of the BJP nationally and in various states as well. How successful do you think in like a state like Gujarat have they been in achieving that?
See, Gujarat is a comparatively a prosperous state, Sham, and
Hmm.
Gujarat will never, people of Gujarat do not believe in politics of free, and
Hmm.
only, and the people of Gujarat do not believe in, particularly in large parts, it is semi-urban, urban, rural areas also do not believe in, promises of giving free electricity, 1,000 rupees, free, or this whole concept of free, because Gujaratis have traditionally, historically been a community which has been worked hard and has been very enterprising. So point number one, that concept could not be successful in a state like Gujarat. Now point number two, see, you can't win if you want to survive long term in politics. You need to fight. You need to work on certain proportions and certain levels. A, you have to have a worker base. B, you need to have an ideology. C, you need to have a leader. And
Hmm.
fourth is you need to also have a media narrative. The Aam Aadmi Party only focused on the media narrative and the leader, which was Arvind Kejriwal. They did not have a Sangathan, and number two, they do not have an ideology. So they
Hmm.
only work at places where the media narrative is, works in their favor, and number two, where Arvind Kejriwal goes forward. So but these two cannot make you win elections till the time you do not have a Sangathan and you do not have an ideological base. So the Aam Aadmi Party has 5 MLAs right now, and there is a possibility some of them will jump ship. Now, the success of Aam Aadmi Party will depend on how does the Congress, feature in the coming months and years to come in Gujarat. If the
Hmm.
Congress completely surrenders, so like you saw in Punjab that Aam Aadmi Party was first a 22% vote share party. Um, then it won an election in a very big manner. So it all depends on how stitched is the Delhi model of Arvind Kejriwal, because the
Hmm.
entire concept of Aam Aadmi Party is एक मौका हमको दे दो, हमने दिल्ली में भी किया है. The day Delhi starts faltering, the entire these subunits of AAP will start faltering, because AAP is a group of people who have come together as an alternate to Congress. That's what
Yeah.
AAP is. AAP is not built on any ideology which is there. So it will all depend on whether the Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party is able to hold the Delhi model before the next Gujarat elections or not.
Hmm.
And number two, whether they're able to build a Sangathan and ideology. But this election for me, for them, has not been as successful. If you ask me, not been successful because the pitch which they had done was quite a big pitch, and they did not follow the basics of winning an election.
Yeah.
So I would say that this was an override Modi election, and it again proved that outside the basic demography of Delhi NCR, when the BJP goes head to head with Aam Aadmi Party, the Aam Aadmi Party is not able to match it. You look at Uttarakhand, you look at Himachal, you look at Goa, you look at Uttar Pradesh. Punjab has a completely different. The ingredients in Punjab were completely different. The Congress was the main
Hmm.
opponent, and the BJP was not there. So the ingredients there were completely different. So the AAP has to prove to be able to defeat the BJP outside Delhi, which it has not been able to do till now. So I will have my reservations because A, it is not focusing on building the Sangathan, and B, it does not have an ideology right now. So in that scenario, there are too many risk factors associated in
Yeah.
expansion of political party, is what I would say.
सो ऑल द फैक्टर्स जो आपने कहा कि जो बीजेपी के लिए गुजरात में काम किए, उन फैक्टर्स के साथ हिमाचल में क्या हुआ ये, क्योंकि हिमाचल में कांग्रेस केम बैक इनटू
See,
पावर, जो
Himachal,
हिमाचल का ट्रेंड रहा है कि फ्लिप फ्लॉप गवर्नमेंट का, दैट ट्रेंड कंटिन्यूज, द बीजेपी वाज होपिंग टू बक दैट ट्रेंड, बट वो क्यों नहीं हुआ?
First of all, the only factor which worked sham for BJP in Gujarat is Narendra Modi. Leave Narendra Modi and the BJP cannot win the election in Gujarat. As
रियली?
of right now, that is the situation, and that is also the risk factor associated. Yes, I stand by
अच्छा,
it, and this is what is there. That's why,
इज
if
इट
you
बिकॉज
see,
कि
the
गुजरात
Prime
में उतना
Minister had to do more than
ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल
50
स्ट्रेंथ नहीं
public
है?
rallies.
इज इट बिकॉज गुजरात में उतनी
नहीं,
ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल
कोई
स्ट्रेंथ नहीं
दूसरा
है
अपने
बीजेपी
नाम
की?
पे कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन तो बहुत सॉलिड है। जैसे मैंने आपको कहा कि पार्टी सिर्फ एक बेस प्रोवाइड करती है, लीडर्स चुनाव जिताते हैं। तो नरेंद्र मोदी के अलावा कोई दूसरा ऐसा लीडर नहीं जो अपने नाम पे 50% या 45% वोट खींच सकता है। तो
हम्म,
ये आज की स्थिति है गुजरात की। मैं बता रहा हूँ, आगे चल के इवॉल्व हुआ, दैट्स अ सेपरेट स्टोरी, बट दैट इज द सिचुएशन व्हिच इज देयर राइट नाउ। दैट्स व्हाई आई से कि इट वाज नरेंद्र मोदी व्हिच वर्कड, एवरीथिंग एल्स वाज अ सप्लीमेंट्री फैक्टर। नाउ कमिंग टू हिमाचल, see Himachal, oh, BJP defeated BJP. It is not a verdict, it was not an overwhelming victory. 1950 हिमाचल प्रदेश के अंदर चुनाव शुरू हुए, तब से लेकर पिछले 50-40 सालों में हिमाचल में जब भी सरकार बदली है, मिनिमम 3 से 4% वोट शेयर का डिफरेंस हुआ है। ये पहली बार ऐसा
हम्म,
हुआ है हिमाचल के अंदर कि सिर्फ 0.9% वोट शेयर, मतलब सिर्फ 30,000 वोट के अंदर 15 सीटों का पूरा चेंज हुआ है। वो भी सिर्फ एक पॉकेट के अंदर हिमाचल के अंदर बीजेपी ने सीट लूज करी है, और वो ही पॉकेट के अंदर बीजेपी ने की बिकॉज ऑफ रिबेल्स। So I would not say that the Himachal Janta did not want the BJP. It is the
हम्म,
BJP which defeated the BJP in Himachal. There is no other story to it. And you mark my words and you state this, when the Lok Sabha elections will come, you will see all the seats of Himachal
yeah,
going to the Bharatiya Janata Party. And this is, and because Himachal is a very smaller state, it's a very small state where vote margins are 400, 500, 1,000, 1,500. So any amount of this division in the party leadership leads to a situation of affecting a lot of seats, and this has happened for
हम्म,
the first time. So, इसीलिए if you see, the PM also mentioned it in his speech that we just got 0.9% less vote, and this is very, very, this never happened in Himachal. Before that, the BJP came; it came with more than 4%. Before that, the Congress came; it came with more than 3.5 to 4% vote share,
हम्म,
which is a significant vote share. Which means that the party, that the people want a new government. A 0.9% vote share does not mean that people want a new government.
yeah. So when you say कि बीजेपी defeated the बीजेपी, कैसे हुआ ये? Because I did read कि जेपी नड्डा played a big part कि किसको टिकट मिलना चाहिए हिमाचल प्रदेश में, and a lot of the people जिनके जेपी नड्डा के इन्फ्लुएंस से जिनको टिकट मिला था, उन एरियाज में बीजेपी ने अंडर परफॉर्म किया है। सो इफ यू वर टू, अगर बीजेपी के लोगों को इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करना हो या किसी पर फिंगर पॉइंटिंग करनी हो, तो वो किस तरफ कर रहे हैं? धूमल फैमिली की तरफ कर रहे हैं या जेपी नड्डा की तरफ कर रहे हैं?
So there are all these rumors, all these conversations are going
हाँ,
on, and it's the BJP which will, completely decide on this. But मैं आपको ये कह सकता हूँ कि the BJP rebels are the factor जिनकी वजह से ये जो पूरे के पूरे चुनाव जो है भारतीय जनता पार्टी हारी है। अब किन रिबेल्स को किसने फंडिंग की, दैट इज फॉर द बीजेपी टू एग्जामिन।
हम्म,
आई डोंट वांट टू कमेंट कि कौन रिस्पॉन्सिबल है कौन नहीं, बिकॉज आई डोंट हैव फैक्ट्स प्रिवी, ऑल द फैक्ट्स व्हिच आर प्रिवी इन दिस सिनेरियो। बट इतना मैं जरूर कह सकता हूँ कि जिन जिन एरियाज के अंदर बीजेपी हारी है, वहां पे बीजेपी के रिबेल्स ने उनका वोट काटा है। तो किन्ने
हम्म,
उन रिबेल्स को फंडिंग करी, किन्ने नहीं करी, ये तो पार्टी को ये पार्टी के जांच का विषय है। पर देखिए, बाकी सब रिजल्ट एक्सपेक्टेड था। प्लेन्स में कांग्रेस को अच्छा करना चाहिए था, और पहाड़ों के अंदर बीजेपी को अच्छा करना चाहिए था। कुछ पहाड़ों के जिलों के अंदर बीजेपी के रिबेल्स ने बहुत ज्यादा वोट लेके चले गए, तो उनको किसने फंडिंग की, क्या की, दिस इज डिस्पाइट द PM coming on to that. So this
हम्म,
says that there was a large lobby which was working to defeat the BJP, and that is what the party has to take a call. Otherwise, with 25,000 votes, mere 25,000 votes, impacting 15 seats has never happened in Himachal, and it will never happen next time also till the
Hmm.
time the party wants it. That is, if you see, how can you have a situation where the chief minister wins with a margin of 39,000 votes, and he wins 10 out of 10, 9 seats in his district, and the state has not been able to swung. So this
Hmm.
is where it is something which does not befit any amount of political analysis. So those who are saying it is a Congress verdict, I completely disagree. A 0.9 percentage vote share is a very neck and neck election, and that is where the rebels spoiled the factor for the BJP.
Hmm. And उसमें भी तो डिस्पाइट द फैक्ट कि जेपी नड्डा जी ने इतनी एक इन द सेंस लीडरशिप पोजीशन ली थी हिमाचल इलेक्शन में, यू नो ही टुक अ सेंटर स्टेज उसमें, एंड हिमाचल में उनकी पार्टी ने अंडर परफॉर्म किया. डू यू थिंक कि बीजेपी की लीडरशिप जो है, और या फिर बीजेपी लीडरशिप में जो जेपी नड्डा की पोजीशन है, वो इस रिजल्ट से खतरे में आएगी इन एनी वे?
No, I don't think so. I don't
अच्छा.
think so. But there is a there is a serious amount of, self-examination which is going on. And in fact, the BJP president, JP Nadda himself mentioned that he was quite disappointed. If you see his victory speech, he spoke about Himachal. The PM also spoke about Himachal.
Hmm.
So there is a serious amount of, self-examination which is going on in the party, that how could this happen? Because Himachal is also very close to Narendra Modi, because he was a Prabhari there, and he himself had put a lot of might in the Himachal campaign.
Hmm.
Now, I am quite convinced that after the Home Minister Amit Shah, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and all these, whether JP Nadda, all the Sangathan, gets their feedback from the ground, the PM will make an assessment to why did it happen. And in fact, but I don't see a situation where the position of the party president will be in danger because of this. I don't see that happening. But I do feel that there will be some amount of corrective steps that the BJP will take in
Hmm.
order to set a message that this is something which will not be tolerated, whosoever has been the spoiler. Now,
Hmm.
we both should not comment on it from a distance, because if we comment, it will become big news. And we don't have all the facts at the table. What we can conclude for sure is that it's the BJP rebels who defeated the BJP. This much we can for sure say.
And so then coming to Delhi, Delhi mein, since 2015, BJP, the Aam Aadmi Party has been in power. BJP has been trying to dislodge Aam Aadmi Party from Delhi since 2015 unsuccessfully. और अब तो जो दिल्ली में 15 साल से MCD में भी उनकी पावर थी, वो भी हाथ से निकल गई है. So in a way, Delhi, for whatever you think of the Aam Aadmi Party, positive, negative, my opinions are very clear. मैं तो बहुत बार बात कर चुका हूँ आम आदमी पार्टी के बारे में, but they've created एक तरह से गढ़ बना के रखा हुआ है दिल्ली को उन्होंने. There's some kind of a connection on the ground with the people in Delhi for the Aam Aadmi Party. तो what is going wrong with the BJP in Delhi कि वो क्यों दिल्ली में सक्सेस नहीं पा रहे हैं? क्या, like you said ना, अभी आपने पहले कहा कि लीडरशिप इलेक्शंस जितवाती है. आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कितना भी कर लो, बट अगर आपके अच्छे लीडर्स नहीं है तो इलेक्शन नहीं जीतोगे. सो डू यू थिंक दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम विद दिल्ली एज वेल, कि दिल्ली में लीडरशिप अच्छी नहीं है?
नहीं, अब आप इसको यू अगेन गो बैक टू बिट ऑफ हिस्ट्री.
हम्म.
लेट 1990s से लेकर 2022 तक द बीजेपी इन दिल्ली हैज जस्ट बीन अ लेस देन 40% वोट शेयर पार्टी. पहले दिल्ली में क्या होता था कि 14-15% बसपा वोट लेकर आती थी, 16%, 17% इंडिपेंडेंस तक वोट आती थी, तो 36% से लेके 39% वोट्स में पार्टी, गवर्नमेंट यूज्ड टू बी फॉर्म. सो 6 to 39% vote if you have, or 35 you have, any government would be formed. So the BJP has not been in government in Gujarat, Delhi since 2.5 decades. In fact, it was not able to dislodge the Congress also. Now,
हम्म.
Arvind Kejriwal came into the scene and the Congress completely surrendered, and the Delhi politics has now become a bipolar politics, where Arvind Kejriwal starts with a takeoff vote of 40% and he maintains a vote share of 50%. Now, the BJP since long has been a Sachdevas, Mehtas, Punjabi upper caste dominated party per se, which gets them 35, 37%, 39% vote, but it does not make them anywhere closer to winning margin. 2020 elections also, the BJP had put their entire unit in Delhi, the same way they campaigned this time, the similar way they campaigned last time. But it only increased the vote share. The Aam Aadmi Party was 50% vote share, and they won 62 seats. This time also, it was clear that people did not want the BJP in MCD because of multiple factors. A, there was a sense that the MCD was not able to clean the garbage waste of Delhi. Number two, there was a sense that MCD, perception in people that MCD was corrupt. And number three is that more than 20, 2.5, 15 years had happened since the BJP was ruling MCD. Now,
Mm.
Kejriwal comes with giving lower class free bus ride, which worked a lot for the women in Delhi. Number two, this free electricity and water. These are three things which work for them. Now, why did Kejriwal get less vote? Is not because BJP pulled a single vote extra. So
Mm.
the BJP guys were saying that they pulled extra vote is not factual. It
Mm.
was a Congress party getting strategic Muslim votes in strategic places. That is why the Congress moved from a single digit vote share to 12, 13 percentage. So for the first time, the Muslims did not vote a party which could defeat the BJP. Muslims voted
Mm.
to teach the party, Aam Aadmi Party, a lesson, because for them that's why Aam Aadmi Party lost at Shaheen Bagh, Okhla, and other places, and this is where the Congress had won, and it was unexpected for the Congress. So it was an Aam Aadmi Party verdict. It was an overriding Aam Aadmi Party verdict. The BJP won at places where they had fielded good candidates. Now, if the BJP has to really be serious about winning Delhi, they
Mm.
have changed the party president. They have to get a younger, fresher, a party president who is more low profile, who takes care of the Sangathan, and they need to get a face which is popular enough to get 45 to 50 percentage vote share. The BJP
Mm.
cannot win Delhi only on the Baisakhi of Congress. One way of winning Delhi is Congress becomes a 20 percentage vote share party and the BJP gets 39 percentage, 38, and then they win the election. That is one. The other
Mm.
is that you increase your vote base from 39 percentage to
Mm.
50 percentage, 48 percentage. If you have to work towards that, you need to get a face which works round the clock. And Hindutva will not make you win Delhi because that is again moving around in the same amount of voters. You have to get the lower class votes, the Chukki clusters, the lower middle class, and all. And for that, you need to stand with them in long election time. So, in order to break the social engineering which Arvind Kejriwal has done with the last mile delivery, which is done.
Mm.
So, to say that Arvind Kejriwal does not get votes in Delhi is completely wrong. There is a solid vote base which is with him. This time, the Muslims moved away from him towards the Congress. So if the BJP has to win, it has to plan to be a 45 to 50 percentage party. In Lok Sabha, you will see again all these people voting for Narendra Modi, and he will win 7 of 7 seats as of right now.
Mm.
But when it comes to assembly, they don't see an alternate face in front of Kejriwal who can provide them the basic facilities like he's doing. So the same women which votes for a Modi ends up voting for a Kejriwal in a assembly and voted for a Kejriwal in an MCD because he said कि चलो ये एटलीस्ट कूड़ा एक बार मौका दे देते हैं इसको कूड़ा खत्म कर देगा या कोशिश करते हैं करने के लिए सो दिस
Mm.
इज वेरी डिफरेंट सो द बीजेपी डिड नॉट पोल मोर the Congress got Muslim votes. That's why Kejriwal came down from a base of 155, 160 to a base of 135.
Do you feel like, आप बात कर रहे थे कि एक यंग लीडर की जरूरत है, एक यंग जरूरत, डिफरेंट फेस की जरूरत है. आपको लगता है कि गौतम गंभीर उस तरह का एक फेस हो सकते हैं दिल्ली में? बिकॉज मैं कहीं पढ़ रहा था कि उन्होंने आई थिंक 61% जो उनकी सीट्स हैं उनकी कंस्टिट्यूएंसी में ईस्ट दिल्ली में वो बीजेपी ने जीती हैं कंपेयर टू मनोज तिवारी या मीनाक्षी लेखी जिनकी अक्सर लीडरशिप में बात होती है. गौतम गंभीर का स्ट्राइक रेट उन दोनों से कहीं ज्यादा हाई रहा है इस एटलीस्ट एमसीडी इलेक्शन में.
So now this is very, this analysis again looking at from a distance. Now the places which fall into Gautam Gambhir's constituencies are Gautam Gambhir works no doubt. I'm not talking whether he does not work or not, but the places which have fallen into his wards are places where there was significant amount of this vote. जिसके अंदर ये राइट्स के बाद में कांग्रेस ने स्ट्रेटेजिकली मुस्लिम वोट्स उन एरियाज में पाया है और बीजेपी का बेस वोट अच्छा है तो उस कारण उनको कई कई सीट्स में वहां पे मिली है. Now, MCD was not a member of parliament cannot make you win or lose seats in an MCD, which was, please understand, the BJP won seats where the MCD candidate, the councillor ticket which the BJP gave was quite good. Wherever they messed up with the ticket distribution, they have completely lost that. So whether it will be Gotham, whether it will be somebody else, that is for the party leadership to take a call and give him a run till 2026. But what I will just give you is that getting, tweets on social media, video views on social media is of no barometer in Delhi. So if they give Gautam Gambhir, whether he will do 24/7 politics, whether he will leave his commentary, all of those are also factors that the party has to surface. He's a popular face for sure. Now, Kiran Bedi was also a popular face, which was brought in at the last time, but she was looked as a strong administrator, but she could not pull enough votes. So if it is Gautam for the BJP, then they have to give it a free run. If it is somebody else, they have to give him a long run. But
Yeah.
for sure, they have to get a party president who's young, independent, who can take who can completely get off the lobby in Delhi BJP, which has been there from the 1.5 decades, and is low
Mm.
profile, who can just strengthen the party. And then there comes a phase, whether it is Gotham, whether it is somebody else, or whosoever is working. Many people are working in Delhi, and then
Mm.
you give him a run for 4 years, and then look at the situation. But the MCD election did not happen. The MPs did not make the seat, were not responsible for individually winning or losing seats. The corporators and the councillors who worked in their areas, they got the votes. The corporators and the councillors who did not work in their areas, they did not get the votes. And there was a base of giving a new party a mauka in MCD. That's why it was a change verdict. And then change verdict, only those councillors could hold their seats who had worked in their constituencies, in their respected wards, or
Mm.
places where the Muslims strategically voted for Congress. So you have to understand this result in that perspective. That does not mean that I am saying that a member of parliament has not worked or worked, but
Ah.
it is not something which was in the mind of the voter during
Perception.
making a decision for the MCD.
Yeah. It's more about perception. It's about कि आपने कितना काम किया है और लोगों के दिमाग में परसेप्शन क्या है. दोनों चीजें
तो कौन
जरूरी
सा
होती हैं.
काउंसलर जो है भाई, वो लोगों के अगर मान लो मैंने अपने काउंसलर को कॉल करके बोला और उसने जाके मेरा कूड़ा साफ कर दिया या वो मेरा साथ खड़ा रहा, तो वो मैं काउंसलर को वोट दूंगा. पर अगर मैं देखता
हम्म.
हूँ कि वो मेरा काउंसलर है 1 BH, जब वो काउंसलर बना था वो 1 BHK के अपार्टमेंट था और जाके बड़ी सी कोठी में खड़ा हो गया और मेरा कुछ भी काम नहीं कराता है, और पहले जाके साइकिल पे घूमता तब जाके बड़ी सी ये
बोलेरो में घूम
फॉर्च्यूनर
रहा
में घूम रहा है, तो
है.
फिर जाके मैं क्यों उसको वोट डालूंगा? ये एक
हाँ.
बेसिक लॉजिक.
Yeah, that's true. So coming back to your article, जो आपने लिखा है Sunday Guardian में, which the headline is Results of Gujarat 2022 are a trailer for Lok Sabha 2024. So tell me, obviously I want people to go read this article. It's on Sunday Guardian Live. I'll leave the link to the article in the description of the show as well. But without giving too much away from the article, tell me संक्षिप्त में थोड़ा सा प्रदीप के आपके हिसाब से गुजरात 2022 में आपने क्या देखा या आपके क्या टेक अवेज रहे हैं जो आप देख रहे हैं कि लोकसभा इलेक्शंस 2024 में अप्लाई होंगे?
देखिए, मेरा ये जो लॉजिक है ये कुछ पैरामीटर्स पे बेस्ड है. पहला ये बेस्ड है कि मैंने एक चीज देखी है कि ये पूरा इलेक्शन नरेंद्र मोदी ने अपने कंधों पे लिया था. और दूसरी चीज ये है कि भले ये सिर्फ गुजरात स्पेसिफिक चीज नहीं थी, अगर मैं उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर भी चले जाऊं तो उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर भी हमने देखा था कि ट्रेंड को ब्रेक किया गया था. देयर वाज अ स्ट्रांग चीफ मिनिस्टर आल्सो कॉम्प्लीमेंटेड हिज एफर्ट, एंड दैट इज व्हाई यू सी कि बीजेपी केम बैक विद नियर टू 2/3 मैंडेट. अभी देश में जो भी 24 का चुनाव होगा वो इस बात पे होगा कि देश को 24 के अंदर कौन आगे ले जा सकता है. क्या मोदी ने 10 साल में देश को आगे लेके गए कि नहीं लेके गए? और इसमें जब मैं वोटर्स से बात किया, बहुत क्लैरिटी है वोटर्स के अंदर कि भैया प्रधानमंत्री तो 24 में नरेंद्र मोदी बने. गुजरात में सेंटिमेंट ये था कि सरकार मोदी की बनेगी. अब सेंटिमेंट ये है कि अब जो 24 की जब भी बात करता था भैया प्रधानमंत्री तो नरेंद्र मोदी बनेगा. और ये सिर्फ गुजरात ही नहीं है. आई ट्रैवल अ लॉट एंड आई हैव बीन ट्रैवलिंग इनटू मल्टीपल ज्योग्राफीज, एंड wherever I go, bearing apart few states, I get this sentiment that boss, प्रधानमंत्री कौन चाहते हो? मोदी चाहते हो. So the 2024 election is about Modi vote versus the anti-Modi vote. It's nothing else. Whether people want Modi or do not want Modi. And at this moment, the sentiment which I get, not just from Gujarat, but I get it from Uttar Pradesh, I get it from Madhya Pradesh, I get it from Rajasthan, I even get it from Karnataka. I am also starting to get from areas of Telangana. And Modi is the man who should lead the country in 2024 also. That's very clear. And when you have such amount of clarity in the voter, in that scenario, the voter gives a very clear mandate. And I'm talking about 2024 also being a very clear mandate, provided these factors remain. Now, tomorrow there is an anti-Modi current in the country. That's separate. See, losing state elections or winning state elections, losing a state election is not conjunction of whether Modi factor is working or not. Had the BJP lost Gujarat, then definitely the sentiment would have gone completely against the BJP, because it was something which Modi rode on his complete shoulders. He asked votes for Bhupendra Patel also on his shoulders. And this is not something which is localized to this phenomena. Now, if you go forward and read the BJP Sangathan or an institution has become stronger than what it was in 2014 and 2019. It has
Hmm.
spread to more geographies, which means that BJP has more ability to take brand Narendra Modi to more voters than it had in 2019. So, in that scenario, brand Narendra Modi can get more votes than it got in 2019 if the brand is intact. So,
Yeah.
what my presumption is, or what my reading from the ground is data, that the brand is intact. Now, the machinery to take the brand to more people has increased, has become more stronger than it was in 2019. So, in that scenario, I'm making a conclusion with based on ground data, and this I've been observing from the past 8 to 10 months. BJP might lose state elections. It may win state elections, but that has nothing to do with what the brand Narendra Modi will stand for 2024. If the brand weakens, BJP's verdict weakens. At this moment, the brand is rock solid, and it's rock solid on three broad principles. A, he has taken care of the Indian civilization and the Bharatiya civilization, which there is a big belief in.
Yeah.
B, he has improved the global prestige of India. And C, India is secure under him. These are three broad principles. Till the time any of this principle or any of these three factors become weak, Modi's brand will remain intact and it will be a clear mandate. And
Hmm.
if any of these factors become weak, that is where an alternate comes to Modi. But my question is, who is that alternate who can get votes is similar to Modi even from three states?
Hmm.
I do not see that happening. So a challenger to Modi in Bengal is not the same challenger to Modi in Madhya Pradesh. He's
Yeah.
not the same challenger to Modi in Tamil Nadu. He's not the same challenger to Modi in Uttar Pradesh.
Hmm.
And voters don't give confused verdicts, and they do not, vote out. They do not believe in voting collective individual personalities. So it is not that in 2024 में कि ममता को भी डालो, Stalin को भी डालो, इसको भी डालो. That does not work. That's why phenomena of Mahagathbandhan has failed. And
Yeah.
if that is the phenomena that the opposition will try, it will fail again because it is against the basic psyche of voter. So voter wants to know whether मोदी को लाना है या किसको लेके आना है, दूसरा कौन है.
Hmm.
मोदी वोटर कंफ्यूज को नहीं लेके आएगा देश के अंदर जब तक
Hmm.
एंटी मोदी माहौल नहीं है. अभी देश में एंटी मोदी माहौल नहीं है, मोदी ब्रांड इंटैक्ट है. दिस इज वेयर आई मेक दिस कंक्लूजन दैट इट इज अ ट्रेलर टू 2020.
Hmm. या आई मीन हमने 2019 में भी देखा था, इफ यू रिमेंबर प्रदीप के, आई थिंक 2018 में 2-3 इलेक्शन इन अ रो बीजेपी हारी थी, बड़े इलेक्शंस एज वेल, स्टेट इलेक्शंस बीजेपी हारी थी. एंड देन देयर वाज ऑल दिस कि अरे मोदी खत्म, मोदी वेव खत्म, राहुल गांधी आने वाले हैं, कांग्रेस जीतने वाली है. एंड देन वी ऑल सॉ व्हाट हैपेंड इन 2019 लोकसभा इलेक्शंस, बिकॉज state elections and Lok Sabha elections, because of the Modi factor, are a completely different, cup of tea.
Sham, can you repeat your question because your voice is
Oh, did it break?
breaking.
So basically 2019 में भी हमने ट्रेंड वैसा ही सिमिलर देखा था ना. देयर वाज 2-3 इलेक्शन थे जो बीजेपी लाइन से हारी थी.
One second, just a second. I think just a second. Let me just because it's give me a second. 1 second. I'll rejoin because I think it's connection issues on my
अच्छा
side.
अच्छा, just go out and come back in. कौन क्या I'm reading some very funny comments here. ये किसने डाला है? शाम को रेंट भी, इसीलिए तो सुपर चैट देख रहा था. ये रुद्र समझ गया. शाबाश रुद्र स्टूडियो, वेल डन. Devajit, welcome to the membership, man. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it as usual. I support Rasputin. कौन है भाई? अरे मेन वाला पॉडकास्ट थर्सडे को होती है ना. मीम रिव्यू की क्या बात कर रहे हो आप लोग? ओह, इज दैट बेटर नाउ प्रदीप?
Yeah, I'm perfect. No, good.
अच्छा अच्छा. तो वही मैं कह रहा था कि 2019 के इलेक्शन के पहले भी देवर 2-3 इलेक्शन हुए थे जो बीजेपी लाइन से हारी थी, बड़े बड़े स्टेट के इलेक्शन. और उस समय पर भी बहुत लोग बोल रहे थे कि अच्छा मोदी खत्म, बीजेपी खत्म, वेव खत्म, कांग्रेस आने वाली है, महागठबंधन काम कर रहा है. एंड वी ऑल सॉ क्या रिजल्ट हुआ था 2019 में.
I remember 2019 के पहले जब मैं जनवरी फरवरी में बोलता था कि मोदी will get 300, so people used to troll me like anything, and they used to like make fun of me like anything. ऐसे I remember in UP when people used to say कि 300 सीट आएगी बीजेपी की, somebody used to say कि 220 आएगी, I used to say नहीं यार 300 भी नहीं आ रही, 220 भी नहीं आती, तो मुझे बड़ा ट्रोल लोग करते थे. So I'm just saying now because it has been, I've been traveling in the past 8 years and traveling to different villages across the country,
हाँ.
and I will continue to travel. So I have made this strong conclusion based on the psyche of the voter that there is no direct correlation between a state election and a Lok Sabha election. If there is an anti-Modi current, you will see Modi losing. If there is no anti-Modi current, you will see Modi winning convincingly. It's as simple as that. And at this moment in the country, there is no anti-Modi current. More than 50% of voters are clear that Narendra Modi should lead the country in 2024. That's why I'm also making a conclusion that the vote share of the BJP can also increase from what it was in 2019.
Hmm. Wow. Um, yeah, I think that is the way I've been thinking as well. Because the combination of जो last mile delivery की आप बात कर रहे थे कि social inclusion schemes है, delivery है, social upliftment है, जो इन schemes की वजह से हो रहा है, जिस वजह से जो दूसरे castes भी हैं, क्योंकि बीजेपी को अपर कास्ट की पार्टी बोला जाता था. आई रिमेम्बर हमेशा ये तो अपर कास्ट पार्टी है. इनका सपोर्ट बेस देखिए आज. आज देखिए इनको वोट किन से मिलता है सबसे ज्यादा. आप बीजेपी को आज के जमाने में अपर कास्ट पार्टी नहीं बोल सकते. इनका सपोर्ट बेस अपर कास्ट मेजोरिटी नहीं है. इनका सपोर्ट बेस मेजोरिटी ओबीसी एससी से आता है. तो वो वाला नैरेटिव भी हैज गॉन आउट ऑफ द विंडो. सो ही इज बिल्ड. हाँ, go ahead.
Yeah, you completing.
No, I'm just saying that he's been able to build such a broad coalition within Indian society. कि वो upper caste party wala that system that used to exist maybe in 2013 does not exist in 2022. This is a very different BJP with a very different support base.
Absolutely. And Sham, if you see that support base increases with certain amount of time, and I'll give you an example. The BJP got 90% of the seats in 2014 from 60% of the geography. In 2019, the seats which were there from was more than 70% of the geography. And 2024, you will, if this scenario complete, you will see BJP getting those seats from larger geography. So initially, the larger 2017 seats came from the Hindi heartland and the larger domination from the Hindi heartland. In 2019, it expanded to other geographies, and in 2024, it can expand to more geographies. So it's an expanding party still. In terms of if the BJP got X tribal votes in 2014, it got more tribal votes in 2019, and it can get further more tribal votes in 2024. So what is happening is that it is working on those caste groups, it is working on those social groups continuously. Make a conclusion that the P can get more seats, and it is an ever expanding party which is happening. So it's not just a phenomena of Modi which was limited to certain Brahman Baniya. It is it is something which was of mid 2000, late 1990s or 2008, 10, 11. Modi schemes have reached across geographies and across social groups, and that is what makes him different from any leader in the past. And another thing is that his personal connect with people and his ability to address a large audience, but still make it as if he's talking to you like we are talking to each other. So he will address a crowd of 1 lakh, but at the same time, he will, every individual in that 1 lakh will think that he's talking to me individually. And the beneficiary base which is there, it is huge in number. And that is what gives him that catalyst vote or that takeoff vote, which differentiates in any election. Particularly, the women are strongly rallying with him, and because he's provided women dignity in his schemes and his acts. So this is what makes him completely differentiated. So in a lot of places, whether it is in STs, non-Jatav STs, OBCs, this is what becomes his differentiator. So the women of the family is what he's, is the focal point of his many schemes, and that's what differentiates.
Yeah, I think that's a good recap of the elections. And as अगर आगे भी जाके जो state elections होने वाले हैं या आगे जो लोकसभा elections भी होंगे, उसमें now that we have connected, I'm glad we have connected. आगे जाकर hopefully we'll have you back on the show to break down those elections for us as well, because this was very educative for me. I hope it was educative for the audience as well, and I really enjoyed having you on. So thanks as usual, Pradeep. Continue to do what you're doing, and hopefully we will connect again soon. I hope you had a good time today.
Thank you so much, Sham, and thanks a lot for your time. And it's great to be there with you, and hopefully we can keep connecting more, and we'll keep bringing the ground reality on Jan Ki Baat, and we'll keep presenting a media narrative as I do on my journalistic, on my all the journalistic pursuits and on my psychological pursuits. So great to be with you, and hope by the we keep on interacting more. And thank you so much that you have conducted a beautiful show. Thanks a lot.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. As usual, guys, you know where to follow Pradeep. I'll leave the social media links in the description of this channel once the podcast is over. So please go follow him. Go follow his work. His analysis is really on point. I really do enjoy that. So please go follow him. If you like today's episode, like, share, comment. Galiyan bhi do comment section mein. Sab cheez, everything helps the algorithm. So go ahead and support. We'll see you for the next episode. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and we will see you